Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring some of my battles that I did on the first day of Ultra Remix. Two fun teams. This one is using Haunch Crow lead with Jellicent and Defense Deoxys with Psycho Boost and Thunderbolt. I think Jellicent was a Hex, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball, so let's go ahead and get started. Haunch Crow I probably wouldn't recommend, but it is a very fun pick here. Unfortunately, this is a very tough lead to deal with because it does do quite a bit of damage to Haunch Crow. Well, everything does quite a bit of damage. I go for the Brave Bird here. Honestly, I should just go for the Sky Attack because I do think that they're going to shield. But I switch out here. They come into Snorlax, which is actually good that they came into Snorlax. Now, Defense Deoxys actually has a pretty decent matchup. They're both doing super effective damage to each other. Gonna look to throw the Thunderbolt here. Thunderbolt does slightly more damage than Psycho Boost, and is but is less energy efficient and less energy efficient. What do I do here? I let this go, and then I think I try to counter down, but I think I got a little bit scared. Yeah, I should have countered down, to be honest, because then I would have had two Psycho Boosts ready, but that's okay. We get the switch, which is the most important thing here. And I throw the Psycho Boost. And then I think they actually have Mandibuzz in the back, which is actually pretty... I should have switched right away here. I'm actually not entirely sure why I didn't switch right away. I want to get this Ice Beam off, I guess. Potentially draw a shield, but this Mandibuzz is way too tanky. I also tried to catch the move there, but catch a dark move there, like Foul Play or Dark Pulse, whatever they're carrying. But I should have switched right away. Then I would have been able to get to the moves at the same time as the Mandibuzz, and potentially CMP. But maybe I should have shielded here. It was kind of a tough call here. Honestly, there's just really no way for me to win at this point in time. So I let this go. They end up Dark Pulsing me. Does a lot of damage. I'm going to have to eat a Dark Pulse regardless. I go for the CMP, what I think is the CMP tie here. Yeah, it is. I'm going to shield this. And then I think I build up to... honestly, I'm way too low at this point in time. And I throw the CMP, but obviously they're just going to switch out. They knew what I was going to do anyway, so really nice play by them. It didn't really matter because I was going to get beat by this Neo Queen that has quite a bit of energy. And the Earth Power, and well played by my opponent there. Won the switch there, but unfortunately I should have countered down the Snorlax. Then I would have had two Psycho Boosts, and then potentially I would have grabbed another shield or end up in a better situation. So obviously it's a really bad lead for me. I switch out into Deoxys here. They come into Scrafty, which I think is pretty interesting. They almost always foul play here. I forget what I do here. Normally I don't shield this, but they almost always foul play. So I decided to shield. I build up. I throw the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's going to hit for neutral damage. Obviously not going to KO the Scrafty. And I'm in a pretty decent spot here. I'm going to no-shield this and look to counter down the Scrafty all the way. And they're only going to get to a power-up punch if they choose to throw it. They are one off two off the next foul play. Two off the next foul play. So I expect the Ninetales to come back in. But let's see. Oh, it's actually a Politoed coming in. I'm going to be able to reach this Thunderbolt. And I'm going to reach another one. I think I decide to shield this. Yeah, I decide to shield this. And get to this Thunderbolt to either draw the shield or do a significant amount of damage. Unfortunately, I miss a bubble there. I'm really bad at this electric one. And then I tried to catch the Weather Ball here, but my opponent was just a little bit too slick there. I was actually worried that they were going to throw the Earthquake there. Obviously, maybe they were looking to CMP tie on the Psycho Boost. But I'm in an okay spot here. And then obviously you need to land 2 Dazzling Gleams. I actually just finished excelling my Jellicent. I was actually pretty happy. I've been grinding out those Frillish for quite a bit. And doing distance trades, driving out, meeting up with somebody Me with Pete, my trading partner, on a multiple time basis, and I was pretty happy, pretty pleased to have this finally fully excelled. I think it's like a rank 2 non-best buddy one, and I'm in a good spot here. They have to earthquake me here, which they don't have earthquake. They have blizzard. I think they actually blizzard my Haunch Crow, which actually would absolutely destroy it. But I'm in a. And then I'm gonna look to counter down here, and that's gonna be a GG right there. Okay, we're gonna go into this next game here. Okay, obviously good lead. Gengar is really bad for my back line, so they come into Snorlax. I should still be okay. I can definitely win the switch here, especially since I got the free counter in. And I'm gonna Thunderbolt here. Again, Thunderbolt does more than Psycho Boost on a neutral basis. I let this go, and if they want to double shield, that's fine with me. I'll let them double shield if they want to control switch. I do want to be low so that this Gengar can't farm me too much. And then I go for the farm down. What I should have done here is I should have threw one counter. That would give me the best chance to potentially get 2 Psycho Boosts here. Throwing this move here was just a dumb move on my part. But it's quite alright though. So, and then I'm gonna come into Haunch Crow. They come into Shadow Machamp, and this is looking pretty good for me. Unfortunately, these rock slides still hurt so much. They do a good like 35% damage, even though these counters are double resisted. They still add up. I tried to throw 3 hexes, 1 or 3 hexes, and I was debating undercharging there. I think I let this go. No, I shield it. Okay. They rock slide here. I'm gonna build up. This is definitely just a cross shot. I'm gonna let it go, and then I'm gonna Shadow Ball here, and then I'm gonna switch out as soon as possible. And I'm gonna look to land this Brave Bird. Honestly, a Sludge Bomb would probably KO me. As you can see, these Shadow Claws are still chunking my Haunch Crow, and I land the Brave Bird. Sky Attack might have KO'd there anyways, but just wanted to be sure, especially since I have his shield still left. And then Haunch Crow into Nidoqueen. Oh man, these Nidoqueen leads are really tough for this team. Maybe I should just switch right away into... my opponents are throwing a really good time here. I unfortunately have to do one more... And then I should be able to transfer... No, I can't transfer the Hex. The Poison Jab, unfortunately. And they come into Mew, which is okay. Obviously, Mew is pretty strong against my back line. They Dark Pulse here. Very interesting. And I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt. It's going to hit for neutral damage. Going to be able to get this Mew down to like at least a decent amount of health. I have to let this go. I'm hoping that it's like a Dragon Claw or something. It ends up being a Dark Pulse. I farm up a little bit here. I want to be able to hit this another Sky Attack. Okay, no, I decide to bail out on the idea. And they come into Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, I shouldn't shield the first one here. This was stupid of me. So really nice call by my opponent. And I'm going to throw here the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, this doesn't count, even though it's super effective. And then I need to farm down here. There's no reason for them to bait at this point in time. And I'm going to... And unfortunately, oh man, and my defense gets dropped anyways, which is so horrible. And they get a counter through. And yeah, this is just really bad for me. And unfortunately, I missed so many bubbles there because I was frustrated from it. I don't think it actually even mattered here. Man, maybe I missed out like, yeah, maybe if I hit all the bubbles there. Yeah, actually, I think if I hit all the bubbles there instead of being frustrated that I got my defense dropped, then maybe I would have won there. But that's quite alright. Really, really well played by my opponent. And then we're going to the last battle here. So this is a good lead here for Haunch Crow. They come into So I definitely should have went into Jellicent. Jellicent has a much more straightforward matchup. Well, has at least a positive matchup versus Ninetales. Ninetales actually can win if it lands the double bait versus Jellicent. I think in the 2 shield, but it's very unlikely, especially since I'm gonna throw the Psycho Boost here. I don't necessarily need to win Switch. Obviously, Switch would be nice, but Jellicent actually beats Haunch Crow in the 2 shields without bubble, so it's actually good that they threw here. I guess I would have won Switch, so it makes sense. I'm gonna come back into Haunch Crow because Haunch Crow with energy is absolutely deadly here, and I'm gonna throw one. I'm gonna throw one Snarl here, so I know that there are 2, and I know 2 more Snarls is three Powder Snow, which is the same amount of energy they need to get to the Weather Ball here. So I can catch the Weather Ball. It's really my best chance to win because Abomasnow is definitely a big core breaker for my remaining line. And we're a little bit desynced here, slightly in my favor. Unlikely I would win CMP, so it's a little unfortunate for them. And I'm just going to save 2 shields for Haunch Crow. So I no-shield this. They end up bubble being me here. Maybe debatable on this plan here. Debatably, I could have shielded here. Because this is, like, honestly a little bit too much health for my Haunch Crow to deal with. And I kind of have to shield everything here. I throw the Sky Attack. Hoping to draw a shield. I don't know. Maybe I should have double Brave Bird. Would probably be the smartest play. Because that way I wouldn't have to take a move. I wouldn't have to shield here. And now I have to Brave Bird this Abomasnow. So Sky Attack does about 60% to Abomasnow, non-debuffed. So I would do like 50% debuffed. And I'm in a good spot here. Even if they make it to another Bubble Beam, I should be able to shield and land the Sky Attack, which will definitely KO this Jellicent. So, fun team. Obviously, Jellicent and Deoxys are XL, but they're fun Pokemon to have. And the next team here is also a fun team, which is Grand Bull, Altaria, and Chiefess here. They actually come into Ferrothorn, and I'm like, this is definitely a mirror shot here. And I got so lucky here. So they threw like an absolute million mirror shots here, and I think I got debuffed on like the 5th one or something like that. So they're at 1. Now they're at 2. I'm gonna no shield this because the Bullet Seeds are double resisted. These mirror shots is like really not that great of a move. If they had Flash Cannon, this definitely would be a much closer matchup. I throw a Sky Attack again, and I'm able to hit excellent there. Hit for neutral damage. I'm not going to shield. I'm going to look to farm this all the way down. And so as you can see, there's the 3rd one. There's the 4th one. And then I finally get, I think it was the 4th or 5th one. I finally get debuffed here. So I go for the Dragon Pulse here because I actually didn't think I'd make it to 2 Sky Attacks. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they shielded this. And it would have been really close. I probably would have made it. So maybe a mistake on my side. And then they come into Scrafty here. It's actually really not that great of a situation for me. These Snarls are double resisted here. I'm going to let this go. They end up foul playing me here, which I think is the right move. And I'm going to throw the close combat. And I throw the second one here right away. I think they end up no shielding this, which I think is the correct call. So I have to let this one go, right? I made the mistake last time of shielding, and they end up just going for it, which is fine. They still need to land another one here. So I think I end up shielding this, which ended up being Poison Fang, which really sucked. And we have CMP tying here. So I shield again. So this is actually kind of bad for me. But I should be okay. Because I think I'm only 4 away. And they need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to be able to outpace this this Neo Queen and be able to win here. And take out this Neo Queen. So GG. All right, we go into Grand Bull. Oh, okay, this is actually honestly the worst. This is the worst case scenario here. What I should have done here, I throw in the CMP. Um, I should have played the one shield here because I was only one off the next close combat, and I no shield this, which is just this tells me I'm like a little bit too desperate in this matchup. Um, so I come into Stunfisk here, and I throw the Earthquake. But I know they have a fighter in the back, right? They have to have a fighter or water in the back, or else they wouldn't. This can't be their Chiefess counter. So I catch the Earthquake, but honestly, like, it doesn't really do me too much good, to be honest. Maybe I should have one shielded and farmed down the Chiefess. I don't really know here, to be honest. So I am going to look to try to farm this down. And I think I let this go. And I know they're going to try to snipe here. So I'm ready to throw the Sky Attack. And good thing Dragon Breath is a one turn move, because I definitely would not be able to get that off otherwise. And what do I do here? I shield this because I need to preserve health. I think they end up having Meganium here. Yeah, I think they end up having Meganium. So I probably should have stayed. But I needed to play the one shield with the Grand Ball, which is the mistake I made. And they come into Meganium here, and this is going to be a really long, drawn-out match. So I'm going to try to skip, at least fast forward a little bit here. We throw a bunch of Rock Slides here. I shield. We throw a bunch of Rock Slides. They Frenzy Play me, and that's going to be absolutely game over. I didn't throw the Rock Slide right away, hoping that they would come in with Chiefess and I could farm it down, but that's going to be GG here. So there's actually... Machamp actually wins this in the 2-shield. They actually switch out into Snorlax, which is actually really good for me. I feature this in one of my shorts, just showing like how OP Stargrample. At least is very deceiving. So I'm actually really not too sure what's in the back. Machamp, Snorlax is really tough. Sometimes it's like two things that are weak to counter. And here's the thing: like Grand Ball and Altaria can beat Machamp, so I'm actually not looking to win switch here. Grabbing the shield there would have been amazing, and I'm actually not going to shield this. If they superpower me, good for them. If they don't, then I'll control switch, and then I'm going to look to snarl this Snorlax all the way down. And they're twice debuffed. Even though they're a shadow, it's still chunks, but I'm not going to shield. I want to maintain my shield advantage. And they actually come into Chiefess, and I actually was real worried they're going to Rock Slide right there. So I throw the close combat. And I think I actually ended up throwing both of them. And then I grab the last shield. There's no way they don't shield this. That close combat did a huge amount of damage to the Chiefess, and I have 2 shields. I need to save 1 shield for the Machamp to potentially Rock Slide me, which would do significantly more damage than Chiefess. 1, because it's Shadow. 2, because Machamp has a significantly higher attack. And I'm in a very good spot right here. They could certainly sack, which I think is what they attempt to do there. But I'm in no immediate rush to throw, just because I know that they don't have any energy. And I can't farm it down. Also, I don't have Moonblast here. So as you can see, what you'll see afterwards is that the Machamp can take the Sky Attack and actually survive pretty easily. They certainly wouldn't survive the Moonblast, so I'm actually just going to come back to Grand Ball. And this Grand Ball was total MVP. I used 0 shields on it. It got a 4 close combats. That's pretty amazing. And does a lot of damage and very deceptive to play against. All right. Hunter Ninja. All right. Grand Ball into Abomasnow. Kind of a weird matchup here. I think I let this go. I think they actually straight up Energy Ball me here, which is just like an absolute savage play. And my defense actually fell, which honestly worked out better in my favor, because I don't want them to farm that much anyways. Especially, I think I end up getting. Do I end up getting bow shields here? Yeah, I end up getting bow shields here, which worked out very beautifully for me here. Unfortunately, a rock slide does not KO. And I'm feeling this is going to be an energy ball since they straight energy balled my Grand Ball. And actually, my plan here was to because we would CMP tie to the next charge move if they went energy ball. So I was actually planning on catching the energy ball on all Altaria, but they decided to throw the weather ball, which is totally fine for me. And I think I could do 3, then throw. This is just right before they get to the next weather ball. And this will definitely KO. I don't want to take another weather ball because it would leave me pretty low. And they come into Jellicent here, which is okay. And I throw the Earthquake, which is going to do a pretty big amount of damage to this Jellicent. And they build up to what I believe is the Shadow Ball. I'm not going to let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I would live the Shadow Ball. They actually come in. They actually. What did I do here? No shield this. They Shadow Ball me. Yeah, they Shadow Ball me, which makes sense. They come into Needle Queen here. And I know I'm not going to be able to make it to 2 moves because I'm not going to shield this matchup. They're just going to Poison Jab me down. So they basically throw right away. And I know I'm not going to make it 2 moves here. So I decide to Dragon Pulse, which I believe Dragon Pulse is like a base 90 move. And Sky Attack is base 75. They both have Stab. And I'm able to farm down there. So they're obviously going to bait me here, right? Like there's no rhyme or reason not to try to bait there. But they're not going to be able to make it to another Earth Power. And actually, if I went Sky Attack instead of Dragon Pulse, then I might actually lost this game because they probably would have had enough health to make it to the Earth Power. And I'm able to land this Earthquake and take out this Jellicent. Very nice. And is that... Okay. I think this is the last game here. Probably last game. So we go Grand Ball into Jellicent. This is okay. Obviously, I'm hitting for super effective Snarls here. They come into Deoxys here. Kind of a weird situation for me here. I throw the Crunch because I want some chip damage here. And I actually was trying to catch, but I miscounted. I think I ended up letting this go. They actually ended up throwing the Thunderbolt here. And I throw the Crunch. And I think I ended up shielding this. Yeah. And then what I do here is I slightly undercharge. And then I'm going to look to Snarl all the way down and come out with a Crunch, which actually is pretty huge for me. And I'm going to throw the Crunch at this Jellicent here. There's no... I don't think it's that important for me to stay in this matchup because it's not really clear what I would switch into. Maybe Chiefess made more sense. I end up no shielding this because I'm like, okay, if they're going to Ice Beam me, they're going to Ice Beam me. And stupidly, I don't throw the Sky Attack right away. It didn't really matter here because they Shadow Balled me. This Sky Attack will definitely not KO. Altaria does not hit very hard at all in the Ultra League. I'm going to be able to get to this Sky Attack, which is pretty nice for me. And debatably, I'm not going to shield this, right? I'm just going to trust in Chiefess. And unfortunately, I do think that it's going to be a fighter. But if it's a Machamp, I'd be okay. Unfortunately, it ends up being a Scrafty. I end up getting the move through there, but I think they end up getting a move back. Yeah, I think they do end up getting counter back, which is really bad for me, to be honest. Because that means that we're going to CMP tie, because it takes 15 seconds to get to 2. And it takes 15 seconds to make it to 3 power-up punches. So what I'm going to do here is I have to catch. I have not really much choice. And I catch the power-up punch, which will KO the Grand Ball. And I'm going to throw this Earthquake, which will take it out. And then I'm just barely able to farm down this Jellicent and actually come out on top and actually win the game. So I went 4-1 with Snarl Grand Ball. Pretty strong team. Obviously, there are some particular weaknesses, but Snarl Grand Ball is actually really deceiving. does a lot of damage. I recommend an XL one. The little bit of bulk is definitely helpful, and you're not doing that much fast move damage with the Snarls, and you might want to consider Play Rough instead of Crunch, but I think Crunch is pretty nice for the Jellicents. Anyways, I'm going to leave there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.